Good afternoon. My name is Brent Israelson. I'm Cultural Attaché at the U.S. Embassy here in San Salvador. And on behalf of the Ambassador and all the other diplomats here, I welcome you to the Embassy. I, along with Fernando and Marta, would you stand up please? Marta Carranza and Patty. These are three of the Salvadoran assistants in the public affairs section who helped me with the cultural and educational exchange programs, of which most of you are a part of. And it's an important part of our overall American diplomacy. We're here today to celebrate, I hope, and to hear about a 3-week odyssey of about 20 students from and their teachers from Massachusetts. High school students from various public high schoolers. Raise your hand if you're a high school student from Massachusetts. Okay, so we have almost 20 here. They're part of the State Department's American Youth Leadership Program, which is run out of the State Department's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs in Washington, D.C. And I want to thank Mark Proti. He's the director of the Institute for Training and Development, which is a it's a implementer for this program on behalf of the State Department. And the local partner here is the Escuela de Comunicación, Mónica Herrera, and Alejandro Martinez Alfaro. Thank you, Alejandro, for your efforts in making this program a success. We also have with us today about a dozen students and professors from Northeastern Illinois University in Chicago, right? Right. And raise your hand just so everyone knows who you are. Okay, great, welcome. I was born in Chicago, actually. But I was raised in the West. I'm sorry. If not for the Chicago Bulls, the Utah Jazz would have been 2-time national champions. Anyway, the Northeastern contingent here is part of an exchange program known as 100,000 Strong in the Americas, and they're here trying to develop partnerships and relationships with Salvadoran universities. And I want to thank their group leaders, Angela Vidal Rodriguez in the back, thank you. And Kathy Anderson. I hope you have all gotten a good taste of El Salvador in the short time that you've been here. I hope you have a good feel for all the great things that this country has to offer. Its natural beauty and resources, its friendly people and hardworking people. I also hope you have a better understanding of the very real and enormous challenges that this country faces. And I hope that you will, when you return to the United States, you will let people back there know about the challenges that are faced here and encourage continued U.S. support for programs and for the need to remain engaged in this country to develop its economy, reduce poverty, and most important, to reduce the violence here. So again, I welcome you here. I look forward to hearing about your experiences. And I guess now we will turn the time over to Mark and his crew. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Brent. So I'm Mark Prati, the director of the Institute for Training and Development, and we're the organization who's basically administering the American Youth Leadership Program. And on behalf of ITD and the teachers and high school students here, we really want to thank you all for coming. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here. And this ends our 3-week adventure in El Salvador. The American Youth Leadership Program is an exchange program for high school students from across the country. There's about 8 different programs happening all over the world. This year, El Salvador was highlighted, and my organization put in a competitive proposal to be able to put together this program. And El Salvador was highlighted, I think, for a lot of reasons that you already know. Its image in the United States and how it's portrayed and what we hear about the country is mostly very limited, and what we do hear is negative. So youth-to-youth exchange is really an important, maybe a small but important step in overcoming this image. And I know I speak on behalf of all of us that it's been an absolutely amazing 3 weeks. I can't wait for the students to share their experience with you. It's been a very deep learning experience, even more. You might call it transformational, in that I think we're all leaving the country with our eyes open and amazed that any population could have such a depth of generosity. So the students did spend time with homestay families, and it was very touching. A couple of days ago, they ended their homestay, their homestays, and there were a lot of tears and a lot of, you can tell a lot of deep relationships were created during that time. So it's really an honor and a pleasure to be here, and I'm especially honored to be able to present the group. And I want to hand it over to the students, and I think our moderator for this afternoon will be Katya Schwenk from Amherst High School.
Hello. My name is Katya Schwenk. On behalf of our American Youth Leadership Program to El Salvador, I would like to welcome to our presentation from the Public Affairs Office, Brent Israelson, Cultural Affairs Officer, and Fernando Herrera, Cultural Specialist, as well as all the students from the Youth Ambassadors Program and the people from Northeastern Illinois University, as well as the other embassy staff in attendance today. Thank you all so much for coming. This presentation is a reflection of our incredibly engaging, informative, and inspiring experience here in El Salvador, and the impact that it has had on our lives. We will be speaking about our 3 main areas of study for the past 21 days: food security, education, and immigration. Learning about these issues has impressed upon us the similarities between our 2 countries and has prepared us for starting community projects on our own when we return. Before we begin, I'd also like to thank several more people. First of all, our program director, Mark Prati, as well as in the El Salvador, Alejandro Alfera, as well as our coaches, Cindy West, Denise Boyd, and Paul Danielovich. Thank you so much for making this amazing opportunity possible. So to begin, I'd like to start with some information about who we are as a group. We are all 18 students from all over Massachusetts, although from several different towns and several different public high schools. East Hampton, Amherst, Palmer, Charlton, and Martha's Vineyard. Comparatively, we've realized that our state shares many similarities to El Salvador, including the population and the area. So to continue, here are some interviews with many of us about our personal experiences with the program.
El Salvador was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I will never forget, and I never really realized that my luxury were other people's struggles, and I definitely took things for granted, and I'm already starting to appreciate the world more than I did before.
Because we went to some places that didn't have as much as I do in the United States, and it really helped give me more of an appreciation for the things that I do have.
You just can't forget about it. Like, you learn to have more compassion for people in a sense and be more grateful for what you have, and like just all around it just makes you a better person, and I am so lucky to have this opportunity.
For the El Salvadoran immigration rate, I've noticed that it has been a great increase compared to other countries, and I always wondered why. And I thought maybe it was that they didn't understand like the conditions that they had in the country or things like that. But I realize now people might immigrate to the United States for a betterment for themselves and their future generations to come. People really want to do better here. they just don't want to run away from their country just because it's too hard, they can't handle it. People really want to try to better themselves, and they go to places like the United States to help them better themselves.
I've realized how real these issues are. We talk about them a lot in the US in school with my family, but there was a lot of knowledge and information that we were lacking. And going back to the US, I'm really interested in sharing what we've learned and building real empathy and compassion for the people that are living here and what they go through, especially in referring to immigration. I don't think people in the US understand how hard life is here surrounding gang violence and food security, and that coming to the US is a need. It's something that they need to do for their own safety and survival, and it's not about taking anything from American citizens.
I have met some really inspiring people, and I have had experiences that I will never forget.
And living in El Salvador and seeing the lives of others has just made me want to help kids at risk and change their lives so that they could grow and develop a better life than their parents might have had, so they can ultimately change their country.
And it's made me realize that I really have a passion for helping people, and I really want everyone to be able to live a better life.
We will be comparing education in the United States and El Salvador. The following are things that we've observed, but there are exceptions to each statement in both countries.
I am a student in El Salvador.
I am a student in the United States.
I go to school for 4 to 5 hours each day.
I go to school for 6 hours a day.
I have 12 classes per day.
I have 6 classes a day.
I learn English because it is necessary for my future.
I learn Spanish because my school requires a language. We both have some schools that require uniforms.
I look at school as an opportunity.
I look at school as something that is mandatory.
For me, walking through a gang's turf can make traveling to school unsafe.
I can travel to school without feeling like I'm in danger. School is mandatory for all of us.
If I don't go to school, there's a chance that no one will know.
If I don't go to school, my parents get in trouble with the state.
In my school, supplies are appreciated.
In my school, supplies are expected to be provided. School offers all of us a safe place.
Rural schools are typically one-room buildings.
Rural schools and urban schools have the same structure.
In El Salvador, education is an opportunity.
In the United States, education is taken for granted. Thank you.
Hello, so what we're going to show next is a video that me and my group created also regarding education, and we really felt passionate about the relationships that we built with other students from Oportunidades. So we decided that we wanted to incorporate them in our video showing what education means to us.
decided to do our project on immigration, and when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, we could have done like a presentation or a video, but we decided that to represent how citizens in the United States usually see immigrants when they don't really know all the information about the actual experiences that immigrants go through to get to this country. We just wanted, the way we're going to represent it is 2 high school students are sitting in the lunchroom and they're talking about a new student named Nina who came from El Salvador. And she transferred. And she comes to sit at their table and they aren't very friendly at first, but we'll see how that goes anyway. However, the information we do use in the skit is from all the experiences we've had at El Salvador. We went to the Immigration Center, and from information we got on the computers. We hope you enjoy it, and here it is.
I don't understand. I went through so much to get here, and now everyone's so mean to me. I thought America was supposed to be great.
Oh my god, did you see that new girl and what she's wearing?
Nina, they were disgusting. And her dad took my dad's job last week. Oh my god.
But like, I heard she came here illegally.
Hey guys, what's up?
And she doesn't even speak English.
What are you talking about? The United States doesn't even have an official language. I did that project in history there. Don't you remember?
And she actually does speak English, and she's really nice. She's just shy.
But I mean, did you see her clothes? It looks like she's wearing a trash bag.
It cost her family $3,000 to $10,000 just to get here, and that's only with a slim chance of reaching the border. She doesn't have the luxury to pick her outfit every morning.
Well, her and her family are the reason my dad doesn't have a job, and now he can't buy us a new TV.
Running water in her home country was a luxury. Are you kidding? She's never had a TV.
Well, I mean, I feel bad, but she's still a criminal.
Of what crime?
They're just trying to survive.
Between the poverty, lack of nutrition, lack of education, malnutrition, and gang violence, it's no wonder they're all trying to come here. It's a great opportunity for her to be at our school.
They come to the U.S. out of necessity, not out of greed.
But I mean, if her dad still had her job, the immigrants would be lowering our pay wage.
If her dad did still have her job, immigrants only lower the pay wage by 3 to 8%. And in fact, they raised the state's total GDP by 11%.
Well, last week after my dad was fired, we were listening to Rush Limbaugh on the radio. Rush said that all the new immigrants from Central America were here because of the new act Obama put in place. He said every illegal alien must have known this act was coming, and that was why they were trying to get anchor babies, even if they had to adopt one.
Are you listening to yourself right now? That makes no sense. How would the immigrants even know if the act was already put in place when they heard about it?
I mean, like, I guess I didn't know that Nina went through that to get to our country. Or like immigrants went through stuff like that to get here.
You guys should invite her over here and apologize for being so rude.
Nina, we're really sorry for judging you before we knew all the facts about immigration.
And you should really come sit with us.
Before you make assumptions about immigration, know both sides of the story. During our time here in El Salvador, we've gotten to see firsthand the horrors and struggles of immigration. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Me and my peers, we decided to focus on food insecurity and security while here in El Salvador. And to showcase our knowledge and new experiences, we put it in a Prezi, it's like a PowerPoint, but like with a modern day twist. I hope you enjoy it.
by El Salvador was the sense of community that this country has. The organizations and schools, the values of these organizations and schools really reflect the importance of the people here, and I hope to take these values back home with me.
Most specifically to the topic that this group focused on, for me, what was most shocking and inspiring was the fact that people here already know the best methods and processes for growing crops. It's just getting the information out that needs a little aid. And I would have assumed otherwise had I not experienced it firsthand at National Agricultural School.
The biggest impact that my experience in El Salvador had upon me specifically was not an awareness necessarily of the problems like food security that need to be solved in this country, but the methods and ways that organizations, NGOs, and charities are taking to solve these problems. And seeing that the concrete action steps that these organizations are taking really inspired me to make change at home and in my own community as well as internationally.
Going to the agricultural school made me want to go back in my community to help out in the food shelters and public gardens, seeing how much effort the students put into what they were doing in the farms because they had such like a limited amount of supplies and technology.
Thank you.
While learning more about the subject of leadership, we had the opportunity to watch a music video by Chris Daughtry. This video is about the difference that we can all make in this world. We'd like to share it with you now.
What about now? What about today? What if you're making me all that I was meant to be? What if
Based on our experience here in El Salvador, each of us has prepared a possibility of who we can be as we go forward from here and when we return home.
I'm Nick Herrera, and I'm the generation of change.
I'm Chloe Pratt, and I am the possibility of accessible healthcare worldwide.
I am Lucy Elliott, and I am determined to inspire.
I am Sarah Felix, and I am the possibility of a brighter future for kids at risk.
I am Parmeshwar Cesaran, and I am the end of food insecurity.
I am Daniel Gonzalez, and I am the possibility for a more compassionate and empathetic world.
I am Heidi Hazard, and I am the change for a better future for all.
I am Elise Simonovich, and I am a chance for change.
I'm Savannah Robinson, and I'm the end of starvation.
I'm Naima Davis, and I am the gathering of helping hands.
I am Katya Schwenk, and I am the possibility of complete gender equality.
I'm Gabrielle Little, and I'm possibility for better connections between people and communities.
I am Madison Bates, and I am the possibility of change in the world. I am Sarah Thomas, and I am the chance for children to live a better life.
I'm Nina Harris, and I am the beginning of United States youth changing up Central America.
I am Michaela Rathburn, and I am the chance for world peace.
I'm Jenna Brewer, and I am the hope that all children will embrace the potential within themselves.
I'm Danielle Hopkins, and I am the beginning of open borders and the end of deportation.
I am. We are the possibility.
Very nice. Good job. Good job, guys.